Ocarina of Time is considered by many gamers to be not only one of the greatest Legend of Zelda games, but also one of the best video games of all time, period.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of that reason is because like it just had so many great dungeons throughout the whole game, and what came along with those dungeons was a lot of great bosses.
And let's be honest, there were a few bosses that were not so great.
That's true.
And in this video, we're going to be counting down those bosses in order of our least favorite to our favorite.
Mm-hmm. So this is Two Guys Ocarina of Time boss ranking.
And kicking off our list is what we unanimously decided, I think, was our least favorite boss, Morpho.
Worst dungeon, worst boss. It went together fine.
It was only appropriate, I guess.
I think one of the things was, it was just like, after such a hard, dungeon, it was just really too easy of a boss.
Well, not only is it easy, it's dull.
Yeah, it's very dull.
It's a water tentacle.
Yeah,
I mean, and there's nothing to it.
Yeah, there really is. And for this far in the game, it just felt like there should have been really kind of, I guess, more to that boss right there.
I agree, especially after a dungeon like that.
Yeah, exactly. Water temple,
Ugh. And coming in next on our list is Gohma. He was the boss of the Great Deku Tree.
It just falls into a trap a lot of times, just being the first boss, of being very simple. It's not that it was necessarily a bad boss, it was just, it was very easy, very quick, a simple concept, shoot the slingshot to the eye.
Yeah, there's just not a lot to him. And that's, like you said, that's hurt a lot of dungeons in our rankings, and it's also hurt a few of these bosses.
Yeah, a lot of bosses.
So there's just not a whole lot to it.
Yeah, and it's very quick. I think it took me like a minute to beat that one.
Kind of cool looking little spider thing.
Yeah, I did like that.
Now, Barade is an interesting boss. He looks pretty cool. You get to use your boomerang, which is one of my favorite weapons, of course, especially as Child Link. He's a long fight, though.
Yeah, and you'll see our individual rankings, I actually had this a lot higher because I like the whole concept of just using the boomerang, and then right here where he's got these things twirling around him. I just thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was an overall cool fight, but
he frustrated me.
Yeah, Red didn't agree with me on that one, so we had to move him down a little bit.
I feel like for as early in the game as he was, he's only, I think, the third boss.
Yeah, he's only the third boss.
I feel like he had a lot of stages. He had a lot of attacks, which on the one hand is fun. On the other hand, he kind of frustrated me. I will say though, the boomerang's cool.
Yeah. And then right here, it's just I remember seeing him for the first time, and we talked about this before. This is the first big boss.
Yes.
That you really face in any Zelda game. That just was wow, this guy's humongous. But once again, it was only the second dungeon of the game, but way too easy, really, in my opinion.
I will say though, one thing that was kind of cool about this was with the Dodongo. Or King Dodongo, you go back to kind of fighting King Dodongo the same way you fought Dodongos in the original.
Yeah, the original Zelda where you throw a ball in their mouth.
Yep,
that's very good.
Obviously on a much grander scale here with King Dodongo.
Yeah, the 8-bit system or screen.
And next on our list, and this might be a little blasphemy, the first half of the Ganon fight.
Yeah,
I just felt personally that it wasn't very exciting.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it's a very simple concept. Shoot a light arrow, go over and stab and stuff. And I think a lot of the reason why we kind of had low on our list is because, the second part of this fight is so, much better that you kind of look at this maybe a lower light or whatever.
Agreed. Plus, at this point in the game, we'd also already used the hit his magic back at him attack.
Yes, with Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, which you're actually going to see
right here.
next on
And this is really the reason why we just thought Phantom Ganon was a better fight than the regular Ganondorf. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think one thing was just an add different element of coming out of the pictures.
I love that, and that's exactly why I ranked it one spot above, just like you did. Is it has this wrinkle to it, where he's coming through these paintings. You have to figure out which one's the right one, and then he switches to that phase where you're deflecting the magic back and forth.
Yeah, Ganondorf really, it's just basically hitting light things back at him, and then shoot him with a light arrow. But this one we had paintings, and then we had the same concept that we also see later on in Ganondorf. So this fight was just a little bit better, a little more unique, and just a little bit more different aspects.
And I will say, I liked his mask and his staff. Phantom Ganon.
Yes, that was true.
He looks cooler. Sorry, Ganondorf. You lose out on this one.
You made it lost in the battle, too. Now, I'm really surprised that this boss fell this far. I don't know, this is really one of my more favorite bosses.
I agree.
When we kind of started making our rankings, he just dropped.
And I feel like the deeper we got into the game, like we hit better and better bosses.
Yeah,
it's hard to differentiate. What really made this pretty high on my list personally, like you're fighting a dragon.
Yes, a fire-breathing dragon. How do you not like that?
And I mean, and you get to play whack-a-mole with his head here.
Going back to the old carnival games.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, just fighting a flying dragon with stuff coming out of the ceiling, fire breathing.
I just like the way he moved through the air. It was very cool, especially like at that time.
Yep.
It was just awesome.
Plus, man, all those little holes, if you walk through them, they hurt.
Well, not with the fire tunic, or not with the red tunic.
Oh, that's right, not the tunic. Man, his fire breath will get you. But he did fall a little bit in our rankings. I agree. That's because the next three are awesome.
Oh yeah. And this one, we actually had it number 2 for both of us.
Yeah.
But when compiling our list, we kind of had to move some people around.
Poor Bongo Bongo.
Yeah, poor Bongo Bongo. Yeah, he was the scapegoat of our boss ranking here. But yeah, just an awesome fight, really.
It really was. I mean, you're on a giant drum, basically, fighting disembodied hands and big red eyeballs.
Yeah. And I just love this part right here. Just shooting, it's coming right at you. You gotta use the lens of truth and shoot his eye. And then I love the noise that he makes when you're hitting him.
And just like I said, just fighting on the drum when he starts hammering it and his hands start trying to swat you. There's a lot of fun in this fight.
And the sound of him banging on that drum, both when he's like fighting you and then also right here, just I was not a fan of the Shadow Temple, but boy did I like this boss right there.
And he was a huge, epic feeling boss.
He really did feel pretty one of the bigger feeling bosses, like size wise in the game.
And we go from one of the bigger feeling ones to these two little guys.
Well, they're girls actually, aren't they? Yeah, they're sisters.
Yeah, sisters. But personally, I had Twinrova as my personal favorite. But
a lot of people do. It's just, I mean, I had number 2 or 3. I think I can't remember. I think I had 3. The one thing I didn't like is that it took so long to make this little part right here work. It was just so hard getting the angles, but overall, a great concept, a fantastic theme.
Dude, their theme is one of the reasons they stand out. Their humor they have with each other when they're in dialogue. And like you said, the concept of using each other's magic against them, like you use the fire against the ice one, and vice versa, I just thought was so well implemented. Although, like you said, it was hard to hit them when you're just using your shield. If they wouldn't get in the right position.
I also like right there at the end, like you had 3 fires or 3 ice, and she attacked back at them there.
Yep. All in all, it was just one of those bosses where the first time through, I was like, I'm having so much fun fighting this guy.
The concept was just really cool.
Yep.
And number 1, I really don't know how you can't put this number 1. This really is just such an iconic fight. Throughout, all the Zelda games. I just remember coming to this the first time and just like, I don't know, it still gives me goosebumps to this day, just how great this fight is.
Well, especially considering after you beat Ganondorf at the top of the tower, you're like, oh, I think I'm done with the game.
Yes, exactly. And it's not like, especially when you know how to beat him, it's not a hard boss fight. You just roll under his legs. You're just like, I just feel like it was so iconic, and just him coming up there at the beginning, just like it's just a great image throughout the whole history of Zelda.
His transformation into Ganon was a great cinematic, of course. And also, like if you've played Link to the Past, you see him as Big Ganon. And you see that transformation here in Ocarina of Time. Great continuity with him.
But Link to the Past, he just looked fat, and this one, you really felt like you defeated somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then right here's our individual rankings, and you can see, like, I mean, we kind of switched up a little bit.
Well, we were pretty similar, especially there, like through the middle.
Yeah, we had 1-3 switched, Bongo Bongo both at 2.
But we were able to work it out and come up with an overall dungeon ranking for Ocarina of Time that we were quite happy with.